Former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan will not appeal against his 16-year jail sentence for spying in Russia, his lawyer says.
Olga Karlova told the BBC he thought doing so would be pointless, and would rather focus his hope on a possible but unconfirmed prisoner swap with the U.S.
Whelan, 50, was arrested in Moscow in 2018 with a USB drive which security officers say contained state secrets.
He insists he was set up.
On 15 June, a Moscow city court found him guilty of receiving classified information.
His legal team said at the time that he would appeal, a process that typically takes 1 to 3 months.
However, on Tuesday, Ms. Karlova said she and her colleague had visited Whelan at Lefortovo prison earlier in the day, and he signed a paper saying he did not want to appeal when his sentence comes into effect on 26 June.
He decided not to waste time, he doesn't think it will achieve anything. It's pointless, Ms. Karlova said. He said that he'd been thinking about it and, as there are some talks about his return home, he doesn't want to lose a minute.
She was referring to recent reports that U.S. and Russian officials may negotiate a prisoner exchange, which would bring about Whelan's release.
Russia has previously discounted the prospect of a swap with high-profile Russians in U.S. custody, insisting that Whelan is not a political prisoner.
Spokesman Dmitry Peskov said earlier this month, "No, it is not possible. He was sentenced by a court decision, and the court decision says it all."
Whelan called the trial a sham, saying that without an interpreter, he could not even understand the proceedings.
The U.S. said it was outraged by the sentence and U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo called for his release.
"We have information from various places that such talks are happening, but I can't tell you where from," lawyer Olga Karlova said, referring to the rumored prisoner swap. "The information is reliable."
The U.S. ambassador has previously told the BBC that "we do not trade our citizens," and called for justice for Whelan. But Russian officials have been dropping heavy hints recently about possible candidates for exchange, mentioning 2 high-profile Russians being held in U.S. prisons.
Olga Karlova, who is a state-appointed lawyer and is possibly seeking to accelerate that process, said that a lot depends on how quickly the U.S. Embassy acts. She added that Whelan had asked her to let the diplomats know they should be as active as possible, because he wants to get home as soon as possible.
Whelan is currently being held at the jail in Lefortovo, run by the Federal Security Service (FSB), although once his sentence comes into force he should be transferred to a high-security prison. This may be delayed if negotiations really are underway.
Paul Whelan is a citizen of 4 countries, the US, Canada, the UK and the Irish Republic.
From Novi, Michigan, he was born in Canada to British parents and moved to the US as a child.
Military records show he joined the U.S. Marine Reserves in 1994, about 6 years after he had reportedly begun work as a police officer in Michigan.
He served 2 tours in Iraq, in 2004 and then 2006, before becoming a security executive. It was while serving in the Marines that he made his first trip to Russia, and went on to visit the country many times.
Paul Whelan was arrested in his hotel room in central Moscow in December 2018.
He says he was getting ready for a wedding when an old friend turned up unexpectedly and gave him a flash drive containing what Whelan's lawyer says his client thought were holiday photographs.
Moments later, security officers burst in and arrested him for receiving state secrets.